Alright. Second thing we'll do after that is we'll break into 2 large groups, alright, to do our group crossing. And I can guarantee you that as part of that group crossing, what are we likely to do at some point on the river? Sweet.
Caterpillar turn.
Alright. Not when you feel like it, we'll tell you when it's time to change around. Cool? Alright, so life will be tickety-boo. Okay? And it'll be a bigger group, so it just means that there's a little bit more assurance for people that are in the group. It does mean someone still has to take charge, and we still have to do what at either end of our big group?
Communicate.
Communicate, but who do we put at the top end?
The big strong one.
And down at our...
The second big strong one.
Cool. Alright, so we need to stack it accordingly, because once we get the command, once we get told to turn around, we have to do what manoeuvre? Right, get nice and cozy as we come past. Hello people.
Hey mate,
All right.
how you doing?
Cool. Once we've done that and we've cycled through, we'll spit out. We'll then move into ducking upstream, and we'll give you the what's the next one we have to do? Third one.
Flippity flop.
Cool. So the expectation with that one is you're going to go basically float down the river. You either, depending on how you end up, there's 2 options for you. You either float down with your pack. If you're going down a river, we have our pack band, face and your feet upstream, look upstream and steer. Or if you do a in the water and you end up facing that way, go that way. All right, don't try to change. But you need to steer yourselves over to the bank. All right, so you'll basically be put in the water. I'm not going to say drop, because that could give you a bit of a all right, so at some point you're going to go into the water, pack float down, but you need to steer yourself back to the side that everybody's on.
Use your arms and kick as well.
Arms, like, all right, upside down tortoise in the water, get your ass back across to the other side. All right, there will be staff downstream. There will be, they're not going to be standing here on the sideline keeping dry going like this as you come past. Right,
Some of us will be.
No, I didn't want to bring that one up.
Right. Stop!
We won't do that. There will be staff there. There will be staff there to assist you if you miss the turnaround or the get out feature. All right, to drag you out. One staff member will have a bag of rope. That's not just to twirl it around like a cowboy. Hey. All right. That is to throw out to you if we so desire. There will be a couple of others, at least a couple of others, to assist getting you out if you miss your swim over to target. All right. On the individual side of the house, if anybody loses their footing and goes for a little swim, same deal again. There will be some catches there to pull you out. Okay. The biggest thing we don't want to do is what in the water? Panic, right? So we know water's going to be cold. What can we do in the water to assist ourselves with preparing?
Splash it on our face.
All right. So yeah, we already know as colours that it's going to get like that. So a bit of water on the face, make life interesting for yourself, so you're pre-prepared. Cool. All right. We'll start with the sticks. With the sticks individual. So we know the river's flowing this way. Dominic's going to be my lovely guide. All right. So Dominic's on the near bank, coming across.
Yeah.
3 points of contact. All right. And we always come through hand high, stop there. So hand down a bit, down a bit, down a bit. One hand high, one hand low. When it comes time for the change around, what do? First thing we do is swap hands. So yeah, so swap hands. Then what do?
Spin around.
Cool. Remember, go back to where you were, and then as you spin it, now spin around. Now as you spin around, things are going to be pushing. Alright, so you need to take your time with the turn, because the current is now going to feature.
Figure out your footing before you do that. Yeah.
And that means, if that means you swap and it's just, it looks like a slow motion moving, sweet as. But if that's what it takes to get you facing back the other way, sweet as, do that. Then we track across doing exactly the same thing. Alright, 3 points of contact, make sure you are, before you lift that stick, 2 feet are planted. Before you lift the 1 foot, a foot and stick is planted. Lean into it. Cool? Okay, group 4 here. Okay, with the group 1, Jordan, jump in. You're on the end here. Obviously we stack either end. We stack either end with our tall timber on our strongest timber. Guess where you're going to be, Hayden?
In the middle.
Yeah. Cool. Right, so we already know what we're going to do, so someone has to take charge of the group and organise it accordingly. Alright, so June would naturally take charge and she'll tell everybody. Alright, so She's going to tell the group what they need to do with their bags. She's going to make sure that life is good for everybody. Who are we going to put in the middle? The little ones and
Just the little ones.
children and who else? Least experienced, alright? So poor old Wendy's going, oh, I don't like the look of this. Alright? Holy shitbird. Cool? But we've got to give poor old Wendy confidence, so we stack the group before them. Alright, how do they link up?
Through the back.
Cool, so what do we need to do with our shoulder straps?
Loosen them off.
Yeah, loosen, because otherwise it, oh, son of a bitch.
Not too
Right.
much, so you still need to be
Yeah.
on your back.
Thinking about it from point of view, 9 times out of 10, what do we all got on our wrists when we're out walking? Because we like to know how many steps we've done. And
Watch it.
cool, so if we go to punch our wrist through and we hear a bloop into the water, we've probably just lost our $2,000 bloody GPS watch.
Thank you very much.
Sweet.
The
So
other
they'll-
thing is tuck your shirts in, like into your belts. Maybe that'd be
So remember, yep. So drop them in.
Like
Because
the
remember,
whole
if
way
you've got a
around.
jacket, Shane. So like with Shane's jacket, if it was done up and he had his hip belt, that's just going to flip straight up. If you have to pop the hip belt and old mate jackets come up and said hello to you, all right, you're going to be trying to push it down, and the river's saying, you know, fuck you know.
Once your pack starts to float, it's going to come up like quite high, and it's naturally just going to do that.
Yep.
Usually, yeah.
So with the hip belt, make sure the hip belt's like not super tight that you just cut your waist off, all right? But tight enough that when you fall in the water and the bag pushes up, the whole thing's not going to pop up off the top of your head and then way downstream.
Don't be
Right.
afraid to look a bit 1980s.
Cool. Okay.
High-waisted shorts.
Right, now we'll punch our arms through. The group will punch our arms through.
Middle people join first.
Cool.
Start in the middle.
What are we targeting with our hands when we punch it through?
The belt. Shoulder straps
We're
off.
going for the belt, we're going for the hip belt, the pants belt if you have to, or if you can't, you're going for the outside the shoulder straps, right? You've got to have a good hold, a really good hold. Cool?
The other thing is your hip to hip contact. It's not like flimsy, like, you know, we're just like this having a good old time. It's like you're actually locked in, you know, you're like a unit. So when I push you, the whole group takes your force. That's what it's going to be like. I'm going to be the whole time.
So then as a group, when the group goes to move across, so with June being in charge, she'll basically start telling the group, right, I don't know, whatever words, holy shit,
There's
we're
a
off.
rock.
Along
And
those lines.
it's not her job to call out every rock. If you find a rock, or you find a rock, then tell them. And when you do, then you need to communicate to them how you're going to get around it.
Cool? So communication is the key. But it has to be good, clear, loud communication, because the river is going to be making a heap of noise in the background, right? So yeah, as you're shuffling your feet forward, feeling those rocks, if you have to call, so poor old Jordan on hand's like, and the group's starting to really start to move it, he may need to say halt, so that he's got the opportunity to come around an obstacle safely. If the group then has to shuffle or whatever to allow that to happen, sweet as. When it comes time for hey presto changeo, alright, so we decided we can't get across as a group, we're then going to do our caterpillar. So Evan's on the uphill, on the upstream side. Alright, what does old mate down on the end need to do?
Still.
Stand still as much as he can. So he needs to make sure feet are planted. If feet are standing together like this as it comes around, probably not going to help. So it needs to be a good solid plant on the ground. And then what happens is the group will then pivot its way around. Alright? And again, as that group changes, that current's going to start pushing.
I'm the car.
Cool. Then once you've spun around, don't just automatically go, we're off. Make sure everybody's ready to go, and then step off and away and across you go. Sweet as? Easy. Who wants to get wet?
Yes.
We'll move.
So just the last thing.
Yeah.
So after we've done the, hang in. After you've done the group one, we're going to do the pack flow, right? And we'll show you the point. And the idea is that you're walking up to a depth that you're out of your depth, and then it's your job when you're comfortable to float on your back downstream, and then you get yourself to shore, and then you beach yourself. You have to unclip your pack, get out of it, stand up.
Can you demonstrate when we get down in there?
Yep. You can be
I'll
first.
lend you my
Question: when we're floating, you said if we are facing face down, why not flip over? Why just
There's probably a good chance you won't be face down. That's the whole point of the pack.
yeah. Also top strap undone.
Yeah, your top strap undone. Remember, once your pack's loaded down, if your ass bumps a rock on the way through, that's not an indication you need to stand up. You want to make sure your ass is really grounded on the deck.
That
Right,
pack's
no
gonna give
point.
you
You're
a
going to hit rocks, so there's no point in then going, oh, stand up, and then get swept off your feet again. Get right over to the side, really, really grounded, and then look to get out of your pack. Don't try and stand up with your pack on, because you might now find you've got a good 20-30 kilos of weight on your back. And
You're going to be cold too, eh? Like, and when you're cold, shit changes. It's really hard to move. Your brain's going to be like, how the hell am I going to cope?
but we'll be there. Not in with you.
If you really look like you're struggling, there'll be someone there that might come in.